This film shows you something very special. It follows the London Nautical School Sport Partnership in Lambeth and how they built a superb coaching family. You'll see the informal and formal mechanisms they used and hear their thoughts behind this wonderful piece of work. Here's Gillian Brunton, the PDM in Lambeth, who was the person with the strategic vision to start this coaching approach.
I was very, very fortunate 2 years ago when I decided to take Rob Wilkinson, Director of Coaching, on at the London Nautical School, that I had full support of the senior management here and they were willing to take a chance on that post, and it has really paid off, and we can't thank Rob enough for the work and the development and pushing forward the coaches, working with our primary link teachers, heads of department, school sports coordinators, and really placing an emphasis on the importance of coaches within our school sports partnership and our borough.
Here, Rob Wilkinson, the Director of Coaching, outlines the vision for Lambeth.
Our vision from the beginning was to bring coaches into our SSP and make them feel like an extension of our workforce, and tied into that was creating a career professional development pathway for them, similar to what we have access to as SSCOs and teachers. There are some fairly generic courses that didn't engage coaches, so we had to think about how we could possibly do that, and we felt that the engagement would be far better on a more localised level. So getting coaches together who all know each other through working in the same schools and working through myself, etc. And formulating a bespoke course which really accesses their own development and their own vision on goal-orientated approach to coaching.
Lambeth have close links with the County Sport Partnership, and here's Tom explaining the role of the CSP.
So from Priority Central London's perspective, the County Sports Partnership within Central London, we found the resource of directive coaching within Lambeth School Sports Partnership and the School Sports Partnership generally to be incredibly useful in tying together our aims around developing coaches and coaching within Central London, within schools, but also within the community, within local authority and within local clubs. Traditionally, we've found that coaches have felt that they haven't necessarily been supported in a way that matches their needs on the ground. A lot of the CPD and training that they've been offered has been quite generic and hasn't necessarily supported them in a practical sense that focuses on their specific sort of developmental needs. So working with Rob and the other members of the School Sports Partnership has allowed us to focus on coaches' individual needs, to look at not just providing them generic training, but also encouraging them to think about their own developmental needs, to think about the participants, the individual needs of the participants they're coaching for, and therefore do their skills match the needs of their participants. That's really quite, it might sound simple, but it's actually quite revolutionary for the way that we've looked at coach education and coach training within Central London.
So let's start with mentoring. Rob has paired Isaac and Faye as two fellow basketball coaches, and here they are talking about the benefits of the mentoring process.
Mentoring as a whole with Faye this year has been fantastic actually. You know, it's been a new thing to me as in like I had to kind of pass on my knowledge to an up-and-coming coach, a younger coach to me. You know, we both fairly know the game, the basketball game, because you know we play at different levels, but coaching is different to playing. You know, and that's what Faye wanted to learn. You know, he wanted to learn the coaching game, and what the mentoring program did was to kind of improve his coaching. You know, by helping him deliver sessions. You know, kind of improve his own confidence, his communication with kids, and that's what I was there to do, to help him kind of improve that area.
He's become a friend, a really good friend. I've known about it for years. He helps with my game because we play in the same position. He helps with my coaching, he helps with a whole lot of things. Being with Isaac really helps because I'm now more involved in Lambeth as a whole rather than just the school. He's introduced me to a lot of people. I'm now involved in the bigger community life.
Lambeth benefit from having a highly qualified and motivated team. Here's Nick, the assistant PDM, describing how the partnership observes coaches for quality control.
We've come to the point whereby we have a really good, strong network of coaches, and we find that more and more so now that the actual observation of the coaches is more and more important. The coaches have found that the observations really helpful. They've used the points of feedback from SSCOs. We have a network of around about 6 or 7 SSCOs who actually go out and observe the coaches themselves, along with the recruiting to coaching members as well. They tend to pick up on 2 or 3 things every time, and then what they do is they tend to feed back to the coach there and then follow up the feedback for the week after. To start off with, the coaches, they felt it was positive, yet they only found it really positive when the feedback was followed up afterwards. The SSCOs themselves have found this as a really strong, productive way of developing themselves as well. Because there is a network of people working very closely together and seeing each other more and more often, observations don't become scary, and therefore we have a family of coaches now and a family of SSCOs who work together along with the recruits. They find it important for the simple reasons that they might pick up 1 or 2 things every single week.
Rob and Mike are here involved in an observation. To watch an observation in more detail, you can find Rob and Mike, the partnership judo coach, featured at greater length on an associated YouTube film. 2 more of the partnership's coaches here describe more benefits of the coaching family.
The support I get through Rob and Gilly is excellent. They find the schools for us and basically just feel part of a family. This is the best I've felt in a working environment due to their support and their help. It just makes everything easy for us as coaches to go into the schools and actually do what we're there to do, teach the kids.
As well as excellent organisation, observation and mentoring, Lambeth even arranges social gatherings for the coaches as well.
It's great for networking. Obviously everyone gets to exchange information and talk about what they do. As coaches you're pretty much quite isolated and pigeonholed in an area. You do your session, you leave your session. It's quite rare that you get to actually meet up and discuss because your working day is so full on. So it's a great time to exchange information and sort of shared ideas and generally catch up really.
And finally, here's Gillian again, summing up the benefits of this superb coaching family approach.
I'm more than pleased that now we have this relationship with our coaches. I have a phenomenal team of SSCOs, and the staff that we have that work towards physical education and school sport within our borough is second to none. Our coaches have really grasped our CPD and our coaching programme that we have, and if nothing else, we're moving forwards over the next 2-3 years really to establish the best coaching development and the best coaching scheme that we can have.